Hey, what is up, mortals? It is KeybladeAli here, and before we get into today's video, there is something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go to the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if you didn't know, only 25% of you guys are subscribed to us. So please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. In this deep dive, we will be exploring the Integrity Knights from Sword Art Online Alicization. An Integrity Knight, also known as an Integrator, is a group of Dragon Rider Knights and is the main military force of the Axiom Church. An Integrity Knight is created through the Synthesis Ritual, which suppresses the Knight's past lives' memories and forces them to swear their loyalty to Canella through a piety module. Originally, Integrity Knights were created to protect Canella against Cardinal, preserve order within the human empire, and to allow the Church to keep its rule over the world. Known Integrity Knights include Bercoli, Synthesis 1, Fanaccio, Synthesis 2, Dusolbert, Synthesis 7, Shieta, Synthesis 12, Nergias, Synthesis 16, Entokia, Synthesis 18, Dakira, Synthesis 22, Jays, Synthesis 23, Jiro, Synthesis 24, Hobren, Synthesis 27, Linol, Synthesis 28, Fizzle, Synthesis 29, Alice, Synthesis 30, Eldre, Synthesis 31, and Iugo, Synthesis 32. A synthesis ritual is a sacred art used by Canella to manipulate the Integrity Knight's Fluct Light. The ritual requires the target to remove their Fluct Light's core protection, which can be done by either voluntary synthesis, which is a simple core protection removal command that is done by the target voluntarily, or forced synthesis, which requires special rituals that require 3 days of casting to disable the protection forcefully. The main reason forced synthesis requires such a large amount of time is due to the large quantities of parameters required to be set for the ritual, and the ritual can only be used on targets within the caster's line of sight, but is better used when there is physical contact. The synthesis ritual used on the Integrity Knights is slightly different from those used on Canella's research subjects. The main difference is the piety module, which is only used on the Integrity Knights. The piety module, which is a purple prism that is around 10 centimeters long, is embedded into the forehead of the target during the synthesis ritual. Due to a person's abilities being severely linked to the person's memories, erasing all of the target's memories would cause them to lose their swordsmanship and sacred art techniques. Thus, Canella only seals off the memories dearest to the victims. The piety module obstructs the link between such memories, sealing the memories and replacing them with fabricated ones, which also forces the knight's absolute loyalty to the Axiom Church. However, stimulation of said memories can cause the prism to fall out, and once the fragment of memory that was replaced by the piety module is returned, then the art can be revoked, freeing the victim. Removing the module without first restoring the memories will not restore the victim's memories, and in some cases, may cause the memories to get severely damaged. The full names of Integrity Knights follows a pattern which starts with the knight's original name, followed by the word synthesis, which represents the synthesis ritual which they were created using, and lastly, a number representing their order of creation. An example is Borcoli Synthesis 1, which is the first Integrity Knight. Before we get back into the dive, I would like to say that, in case you guys didn't know, we are only one of the many We the Celestial channels. If you have the sugar tooth for great storytelling, please give our What If channels a visit as well. No matter if it's My Hero Academia What Ifs or Naruto What Ifs, we've got you covered. Did we get your attention? Great! Make sure you click the icon in the top right corner or check the description below for the links to the other channels. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the dive. High-ranking Integrity Knights are typically armed with a Divine Object class weapon and armor with absurdly high object control and system control authority values. Integrity Knights also typically do not die from old age due to having their lifespan frozen by Canella. Integrity Knights are also usually efficient in chanting and using sacred arts. They also use dragons as their mount and main form of transportation and means of aerial combat. The original Integrity Knights were residents of the underworld with a high level of secret parameter known as the transgression quotient, as they were likely to disobey the taboo index and go against Canella's plan maintaining order in the underworld. Thus, Canella was determined to get rid of them. However, she could not just murder them due to the single "do not murder" command passed down by the creators. Thus, instead of killing them, she captures them and uses them as guinea pigs in her research for a command that directly manipulates Fluctlights. These experiments tend to cause their subjects to have their memories damaged. After the experiments, the body and mind of the subject will become frozen, and their maximum life was also halted, turning them into beings that exist only to breathe. After Cardinal managed to obtain a body of a nun who is capable of supervisor levels of authority equal to Canella's at the time, and retreated into the Great Library Room, Canella took up new measures to protect herself. One such measure was to create subjects with absolute loyalty to her to protect her. The frozen subjects from Canella's experiments were the first to become Canella's warriors, the first Integrity Knights. Later on, Canella established a tournament known as the Four Empires Unity Tournament as a method of obtaining the best warriors within the human empire. The winners of such tournaments were invited to the Central Cathedral, where Canella converts them into Integrity Knights against their will. The victors' families were also awarded with huge sums of money and the status of a higher noble. This leads to countless nobles and wealthy merchants forcing their children to study swordsmanship. The brainwashed Integrity Knights are then led to believe that the administrator summoned them from the celestial world and that they had no past affiliation to the world they were summoned to. The knights who apprehend violators of the taboo index have their memories of the action suppressed after. This was so that the Integrity Knights would continue to believe in the fabricated origins they were told, and so that they would not be surprised when they see the former fugitives become Integrity Knights. Amongst the current 31 Integrity Knights, around half of them were the people who had broken the taboo index, with the other half being the champions of the Four Empires Unity Tournament. However, not all of the Integrity Knights were those who had broken the taboo index, or those who won the tournament. Linyl Synthesis 28 and Fizzle Synthesis 29, for example, were born due to Canella's resurrection experiments. After the experiments were scrapped, they were given permission to choose their next sacred task. Even though they decided to become Integrity Knights as their new sacred task, they only became Integrity Knights after they killed the previous 28th and 29th Integrity Knights. Even though Integrity Knights were originally created to protect Canella from the Cardinal, ever since the start of the Lode experimental phase, 8 Integrity Knights were sent to guard the edge of the human empire from the creatures of the Dark Territory, and several more were sent to various regions of the human empire as supervisors. Only around 12 or 13 of the Integrity Knights remained present at the Central Cathedral to defend Canella. Lastly, Linyl Synthesis 28 and Fizzle Synthesis 29 are assigned to learn the law and sacred arts as sister apprentices at the Central Cathedral. The Integrity Knights are also sent out to capture major criminals within the human empire and bring them to the Central Cathedral, where they are turned into Integrity Knights. Every knight usually gets dispatched to a region different from where the knight originates from in order to ensure they do not regain memories of their past. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, I'd like to thank our $5 and up Patreon supporters for helping to fund these videos. Lastly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the audio and video editors for this video. Their details are in the description below. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested. And hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.